Hi, my name's Anthony Rehana, and this is Ideas That Elevate on behalf of Yo2C and Rehana Whanu. So today, I'm going to be exploring how do we make money from home during the COVID lockdown of 2020. So I'm going to share some ideas, things that I believe about money and income, how we can utilize the world as it sits right now to get ahead. Now, I've been making money online for a long time. I used to have a business that produced video games for the coin-operated industry, where kids go into big arcades and play these games, and I used to make those games. And I had a factory and a company that did that. I sold that in '98. I started working on taking my skills in engineering and applying them to the internet. I understand a lot of us don't have those sorts of skills, and so I'm looking for a way that we can take advantage of the internet without having a lot of education, without having those skills, and really by using what's available on the internet today and taking advantage of that. So, COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns. Well, this is going on right now in Australia and New Zealand, and I'd like to work out a way that we can get ahead under these conditions. So that's what I've been trying to work out. One of the things I'm concerned about is that whatever we do now, whatever strategies we take, we're also going to have to deal with whatever the fallout is going to be after these lockdowns are lifted. And right now, many thousands of businesses are closed down and they're not coming back. And it's probably dishing up a whole lot of fear and doubt right now. But when you mess with an economic infrastructure, you're asking for big trouble. And I don't know how these governments expect to be able to get us through this. And if you're going to rely on your government to look after you, that's not the best of strategies, right? That's just asking for trouble. Here's a couple of pictures from guys way back during the Depression. The Depression, I won't get into what caused the depression and all that sort of thing, but it happened, and that's a situation when your economy fails. In Germany, they were facing hyperinflation. They were just printing money like mad, and our governments today have that ability to just print money as much as they want. Basically, run up a bill and hand it to us, and then somehow, we have to deal with that. If you go out, just do a little bit of Googling. I won't do that right now, but have a look at what's going on in Venezuela and Zimbabwe and what happened in Brazil, places like this that have had to face massive hyperinflation. Even today, Venezuela's inflation rate is it's not like ours, like a single digit or a double digit. It's like 500,000% inflation. The money's completely broken. You can't even hold, you would think in a hyperinflation situation that if you hold land, you'd be protected. But that's not even an insurance for you, because when things get that bad, people are running around, but it comes down to who's in a gang. It's crazy. Anyway, fair and doubt. I don't want to spread that. I'm just saying, whatever solution that we find, we have to deal with the high likelihood of a broken economy, or at least a massive shift in the balance of power and the balance of wealth. So here's the question. How is money made on the internet? How are people making money on the internet? Now, I can tell you, I've made hundreds of thousands on the internet, and I haven't made millions and millions, but I've made enough money to I could just travel the world and not worry about are the bills going to get paid. And that's a beautiful place to be. So generally, I'm going to be sharing what I know about how money's made on the internet so that you could do that too. But let's talk a little bit about income distribution and jobs and people who have money and people who don't. This is a map of the income distribution of the United Kingdom. Now, I find it kind of weird that it's in US dollars, but anyway, I found this out on the internet. I trust that it's legitimate. It looks like a decent representation of the distribution of income. And you can see here that there's this huge chunk. It forms a bell curve, right? We're looking here at this bell. And the bulk of people are sort of in this range, less than $40,000 per year. Now, when this is the way in which you are surviving, you are pretty much 100% dependent on a job. I mean, the only people here who could really walk away from their job would be off the chart here, up in this sort of range, somewhere off the chart. Although I guess this is supposed to represent 100% of the people, but there are people that, this distribution would have to keep going up to the north. Basically, it's saying that 99% of us are surviving on jobs. This is another map that I adapted a bit from the Seuss Global Wealth Data Book back in 2016. In the data book, it said that 99% of us have less than $1 million to our name. And only the top 1% have more than $1 million. What's interesting about this is that 46%, almost half of all the wealth in the world, is held by the top 1% of people. The The top 86% of the wealth of the world is in the hands of the top 8% of the people. But seven out of eight of those people, and I hope I'm not losing you. We're talking about these numbers, but just look at this diagram. These people in that top 8% have less than $1 million, right? It's only the top 1% that have more than that. And the reason why I'm highlighting that is because I believe if you have less than $1 million in this day and age, you can't walk away and just live on your money. It's going to run out very quickly. I know it seems like a lot of money. I used to think it was a lot of money, but I've had friends that had, $1 million and or very close to it, and like didn't trust banks or whatever, and didn't trust the system, and tried to live on it, and it didn't go far. $500,000 can go within 3 years, no worries, very easily, if you're not careful in managing it and all this sort of thing. If you don't have a clear idea of what that's actually going to get you, it goes very fast. Many people who win the lottery, like 90% of them, I can't give you the exact numbers, but just about everyone who wins a lottery blows it all and can't hang on to it. That's because these people in the top 1%, they're not wealthy like that because someone's handed them that money or because they are holding this lump sum of cash. They actually have an income, and that's what's putting them up there. And they're managing their money in a way that creates an income. So the question I started asking myself as I looked around, and this goes back a long way, I've been asking these questions for a long time. Why are the people, what's the difference between the people in the top 1% and the 99%? What is the fundamental distance? Are they born with it? And I'm talking about, these people up there have an income, right? But then I wondered, okay, really, the game, wealth accumulation is really, it's just a game. It's like a video game. It's just a game like any other game. And when we go and look at games, we look at chess and we look at different types of video games and stuff like that, we find a similar kind of distribution that, the top 8%, say, are winning all the games. Or in this case, I've taken the charts from a real-time strategy game, StarCraft, and had a look at the player distribution. And it creates a very similar kind of structure where these grandmasters up here in the top 6%, you could throw them against anyone down here from diamond and below, and they will crush them. They will just destroy them. And so what's the difference between a grandmaster gamer and in this case, your diamond or your platinum or your gold, your silver? What's the difference? What's the core thing that's separating these layers out? And what I found was this, and this is where the idea for Ideas that Elevate came from. What I found is it's thoughts and execution. That's the fundamental difference between the layers, at least for sure within the gaming world. These guys in the silver and bronze just don't have the concepts or the ability to execute those concepts like the diamonds and the grandmasters do. They just don't even have the idea in their head of what to do, right? And this is what happens, say, in the chess world. You've got grandmaster chess players and they face the average player. The average player has no concept whatsoever of chess strategy, chess tactics, and they're essentially just ideas. As you get up in the ranks and you get, say, above gold level, platinum level, and you get up towards diamond, what you find is, say, up around platinum, they have the ideas, but they don't have the execution. They don't execute it that well. They don't practice enough. They don't refine the execution of the tactics. And that's what I saw right up at the top level. Tactics, strategy, and execution, and they've refined it, and they have plans, and that work out. I believe that the same kind of thing happens in the global wealth pyramid. That what separates us are thoughts, ideas, and the execution of those ideas. And that's where I came up with the concept for Ideas that Elevate. Because what I would like to do is go out and talk to these people that are up there in the top 1%, the top 10%, or if I can't talk to them, go and examine them. And I began that process a long time ago, reading books like, I know a lot of people have feelings about Donald Trump in this day and age, but he has a really excellent autobiography. And without having to, taking just what he's saying, but just have a look at what he did and how he did it, and the ideas that he has. Now, before I lose you here, I did this for Zig Ziglar, Carnegie autobiography, J.P. Getty, Aristotle Onassis, Lee Iacocca. I could go on. Dozens and dozens of people, billionaires who had done it and made it, and I had a look at what was it these are not just the 1%, these are the 1% of the 1%, right? We're talking about guys that are off the chart. What is the difference? Again, it's thoughts and ideas and the execution of those ideas. Some patterns started to come up, and it's pretty clear to me that essentially what's separating the guys at the top and the guys from the middle and the guys from the bottom, just ideas, strategy, and tactics. And that's what separates us all financially. It's not really if you're born with it. There's so many people that are born with it that just lose it because they don't have these ideas for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't want to listen to their parents or something, or their elders. Maybe they have the ideas, but they can't execute it. Anyway, that's what I would like us to investigate and to explore and to find out. So I created this slide because I believe there are positions vacant at the top of this pyramid here. And I believe that we can get there if we can get the right ideas and we can execute them. This mission goes back a long way, goes back all the way to 1986. I must have been about 19. And I had decided one afternoon that I would set a life goal for myself. And I wanted to share with everybody how to be successful in achieving anything they wanted. But in order to do that, I believed that I would need to have done it in order to have a sufficient impact. Now, I've had moments where I was on top of the world, and I've had moments where I've collapsed. About 12 years ago, I was doing really great, and about 10 years ago, I was doing really bad. I went through some really bad health issues, and enough to wipe anybody out, and I did not come out well from it. It's taken me a long time to recover, but here we are, all's well, and I'm back on my mission. Now, back in this mission, at the time I set this goal, I decided that I would go and look around, find out what the secrets to success are, collate those, apply them, prove them, and share them. In this case, I'm going to do very much the same thing, but only the difference is this time I'm not starting from $1 million or multi-million dollars and from from any position of ease. I'm starting from rock bottom, and I'm going to build my way back up. So these videos, I want to create a set of videos where I share that, and you can come on the journey with me. But what I do start with is a bunch of ideas, and so thoughts and ideas that I believe can elevate us. And I want to share those ideas. I'm going to begin sharing those ideas right now. How do we make money from home during the COVID lockdown? I'm going to release a series of videos, and this has been the first of those. Anyway, if you like these videos and you like where they're going, do us a favor, share them, and contact me if this is something that you'd like to be part of. Let's team up. Let's do something. I'm down. I'm still trying to work this out, but honestly believe that we can, if we get this right, we'll never have to work again. So that's where I'm heading, and I'm looking for people who want to jump in on that journey and become part of this, and I'm hoping that's you. So thanks for watching this. See you in the next video. My name's Anthony Rehana, and this is Ideas That Elevate on behalf of Yo2C and Rehana Whanu.